Well, hello everyone. I've decided to do a new video, not the normal video type. And this is based on stories in FNF modding and how the public eye perceives them. Now, usually FNF modding with stories is not the exact same all the time. There are some stories, and then there are stories. I'm more going into the actual story side of things, because I know the false story type mods are not the ones we're looking for, like, at all. So I've decided to make a few. One of them, like, versus Dave and Bambi has an idea for its story, so I'll go into that, but, like, here are the two categories. Unfortunately, this is the way I've categorized them. Any type of writing that feels campy, as in, like, it fully does not feel like it's, like, you can engage with it, it's nice, but it definitely, like, to the general audience would seem cringe and campy. I put that in Steven Universe fan category. Now, not everyone is a Steven Universe fan and made their story, but you're pretty close. The other one is hype moments in aura, which is like the story all around everyone can get behind. Because versus Dave and Bambi Dimensional Bleak Bend has like an actual progressing story, I can somewhat put it in one of these two categories. However, like, it goes in that sort of campy category because, like, I don't fully want to put it in any category yet because it is too small of a story to actually detail. So I'm just not gonna. I was originally thinking about it, but no. B2 Remixed. B2 Remixed has similar dialogue to B3 Remixed. So it doesn't really freaking matter where I place it, as long as I place it exactly where B3 Remixed would be. So, speaking of B3 Remixed, B3 Remixed is a remix mod, however it has a bunch of dialogue thrown in. So it is not just an average mod. A lot of it from week 1, like, it's repeating beats but with dialogue. But, like, as I can see throughout each part of the story, it's sort of campy. So I throw it in the Steven Universe fan category because, like, especially considering the cutscene in B2 Remixed, where Garcello dies as per usual and then becomes a ghost. It straight up is, like, way too campy. It is way too campy. Like, it's decent, but it's way too freaking campy. So it makes sense to just, you know, like, if it wasn't as campy and it was like, oh yeah, it's a cool story, I would have put it, but no, it's very much campy. Speaking of other remix mods, Neo. Neo also falls in this category, especially with its own. Oh my gosh, that horrendous monster song. Like, it's a lot more based on just like, oh, a lot of cockiness dialogue writing. But it falls into the camp because the cockiness gets too freaking, like, oh. It's like, it's cool cockiness, but it's way too heavy. Then again, this was also written, like, the story was not just written by one person. The Soft's OG writer was also on it, so it's like, yeah, that camp is fully in there. Hex. Brick, I wish I didn't. It feels so wholesome, and you can actually get behind it. But I'm not so sure. Like, okay, I have to put it in the Steven Universe fan category. Like, it has just the right amount of camp that I actually, like, fully love it. Like, B3, it's like I skip the dialogue. I don't really fully care, considering I'm here for the remixes. Neo, I'm there for the remixes. But, like, oh, Hex is just the right amount of camp, but yeah, it is camp. It is freaking camp. Like, if it gets even better than this, because, like, yeah, very obviously the cutscene before Detected is great, but like, if the story, like, feels fully emotionally gripping, that may change. Livid Lycanthrope. Oh, that's full camp. Full camp. I can straight up say without, like, any excuse, it is full camp. Like, yes, it's a one thing, but it has its own story, so I have to put it in here. Livid Lycanthrope is full camp. It is Steven Universe fan writing. I'm not exactly, like... Like, it's a decent story, but I'm not as invested in it. Purple Guy. Okay, this is instantly, I can tell you straight up without a fact, hype moments in aura. Purple Guy is hype moments in aura because, first of all, not only does it do it straight through gameplay, which you don't have to do it straight through gameplay to be hype moments in aura, or like, you don't have to use cutscenes only to do that, but it also, like, straight up is like, even with also the supplemental material that you want to read if you want to fully understand it. It's actually a very good choice. And then also just, like, overall, it's a mod that's right now doesn't have a full story yet, but with the way things are going, like, having its whole set of unique set pieces and ideas, and actually having the story fully woven in a unique way, it's a fantastic mod. Graffiti Groovin', hype moments in aura. There's no real camp in the writing, it's just sick writing, and it's just, like, normally with mods like this, I wouldn't say so, but because it has its own, like, set of dialogue for the second week that sort of turns it into a non-basic OC mod, absolutely is the story, like, fan-flipping-tastic for a hype moments in it. It's a simplistic story, but it's not camp. It's just a story with very fun moments that feel good. Mario's Madness. Now, technically, it doesn't have a full story, but there is a story with a setup and a payoff. Even if they're going to continue beyond it now, it has a setup and a payoff. It is a Hype Moments in Aura story because it's well set up, well paid off. Even if it's, like, the story is only brief. Like, heck, especially considering the, little blurb before you at the Funkcast. Oh my gosh, that shows a lot more promise with what they might do. Heck, even besides that, for cool stuff. It's well done, very important, and will enjoy. Trollich Files. Hype Moments in Aura. I have to say it's Hype Moments in Aura. They legit made it a fantastic story mod. Like, you feel the tension, you feel, like, even if the songs are not the best part, you feel the tension, you feel the gripping narrative. It's not a bad story by any means. Doki Doki Takeover Plus. Hype Moments in Aura. This is a fully dialogue mod that, because of the nature of what it's supposed to be, it captures the characters well, and it creates this sort of moment where you actually understand everything that's going on. And it doesn't feel cringe. There's not enough, like, it doesn't feel like it's camp. It actually feels like it's hype, with everything that goes on. Like, if some people think it's in the Steven Universe fan category, fine, that's on them. But, like, for most category, for most of the categories, I would consider to make it camp. Heck no. And especially because they had a bad ending so they could fully explore both sides. Yeah, it's not camp. It is Hype Moments in Aura. Monster of Monsters. Literally the definition of Hype Moments in Aura. It is a retelling using, like, the visual storytelling dynamic rather than being fully dialogue heavy. Like, there's moments where you actually hear someone talking, but it is Hype Moments in Aura because it's fully storytelling. And it's fantastic that it's the way it is. I can't wait to see how they retell the story continuously. Like, very obviously it's a retelling of a story, but it's a good one at that. Flavor Rave. Hype Moments in Aura. Same reason DDTO Plus is that good. It actually, like, there's genuineness instead of it feeling like instead of that camp where it's like, oh my gosh, I can't stand this writing. Ugh, I'm gonna skip it. It's like, no, it's legit writing that makes you feel for the characters. In fact, with what we're gonna get to finish off the mod, holy moly, the story is fantastic, and I can't wait to see what they do with it outside of FNF. Because yes, this will be outside of FNF in the future. So you no longer have to judge it in this category anymore. Wednesday's Infidelity. It's definitely similar to Trollich Files, in which the story is detailed very well through the cutscenes. So it's Hype Moments in Aura with a slight nature. It's like it takes itself seriously enough that I don't feel like, oh, there's a campiness to it, where it's like, oh, it's going overtly to a direction in the story where it's just cringe. No, it's perfect. It's a dark story that I like in how it's portrayed. Troubleshooting. I also kind of skipped dialogue here. Then again, it is weird. I'm not quite sure yet, but we are getting there. Like, it's in a point where I'm in the middle. I can't place it, like, the story is so simplistic because it's literally song to song. It's a weak format. It doesn't fully have an interconnected story yet. However, with the story that it does have, it is a decent story. It's just, I'm not sure if it has enough camp to put it in the Steven Universe fan category, or if it has the least amount of camp, so I can put it in hype moments and aura. I can't place it in either right now, so it's a wait. It's legit down the middle. Big Engine Brawl. Now, to some people, it may be Steven Universe fan writing category. To me, heck no. This is literally the best representation of Thomas, so I can straight up say, no, it is hype moments in aura, because it takes itself seriously enough, and it doesn't feel campy. It feels like the vibe of the exact, story it's going for, child-friendly and safe, but it's not bad. Hololive Funkin'. Okay, I have to put this in Steven Universe fan category. It is campy because of, well, the characters you're following. It's not a bad story, very obviously. You want to play the songs more than anything, but it very much goes in that category. Friday Night Fever. Despite the amount of good cutscenes there are, and seriously fan-flipping-tastic animations and art, I have to put it in Steven Universe fan category. The writing steps on enough to be borderline in that category that I have to put it in. There's a decent amount of camp in the writing. Corruption. Hype moments in aura. The entire point of this mod is storytelling through visuals. There are lore docs, of which they do have a few moments where it does get a bit campy. Mainly in, well, the manga. But, it is hype moments in aura. I can't say it's not. Boo, don't get spooked. It is Steven Universe fan category. The story is very much on the campy side. It is way different compared to, say, what we deal with, where it's insane visuals and always hype moments and aura. No, it is full-on camp. It's meant to be heartfelt and campy. So, yeah, don't freaking expect that. So, I do like the story though in Buddha Get Spooked. I love it. It's great, but objectively Steven Universe fan category. Versus Unique Geese. The main week that was added, which was Origins Week. And heck, even the original main content that you have in the main week, yeah, it's camp. It's enough camp. It is definitely enough camp. Rick D's writing is decent, but it fits into that camp category with the Origins Week. So it's straight up, it has to be Steven Universe fan category, and I'm pretty sure he is a fan. So I can't say he isn't. But besides that, it's a decent mod, very obviously nothing too groundbreaking, but it is Steven Universe fan category writing. Alright, versus Infinite. Oh. Actually, no. Looking at the writing, it's good. It's good. It's good. It's actually good. It's just as good as Team DBD's other writing, so I have to say it. It's hype moments in aura. I can't say it's not. So it actually works. Gosh darn it. I was almost worried it might not work. Because Sonic, and then a bunch of people are like, oh no, Sonic can be cringe. And it's like, nope. This was the perfect amount. They understood Sonic. Unfortunately, I usually skip dialogue in Versus Hood Roundtable. However, I have seen it praised. It is simple dialogue, though. So, like, it's in the middle as well because the dialogue is such small stuff. So it doesn't, like, it feels weird. It's in this small category where it's like, there's not that much dialogue. And it straight up is very simple. I mean, it's very a well-developed story, considering. I actually don't know. It's in the middle. Like, there is a clearly developed story here. But the dialogue is so short, they get you straight to the songs. So I can't really put it in either category. It's just like, it's a decent story, but it isn't campy, and it isn't really something worth talking about most of the time. That's weird. Funk and Mix, okay, yeah, camp category. It is Steven Universe fan category. I have to. I legit have to. There is camp. There's a lot of camp with this writing. Especially with week 3. Week 3 just literally brought me to the like, oh, that's camp. Soft. Sorry, Steven Universe category, it's camp. Like, it's definitely a good story, but there's a lot of camp in that. It's a lot of camp. It's definitely better developed, but it is definitely still campy. Characteristic disparity. For me, yeah, it's somewhat of it's somewhat of a camp cat. I have to put it in camp. Especially considering a lot of the time when you have certain ideas where it's like, oh, here's this, like, when you have a nightmare sequence and it's treated like, instead of, like, most nightmare sequences in a bunch of mods usually treat it overly dramatic. Like, the only one is Follow V2 that I've seen is like, it plays it somehow even better than the rest of them, where it's like, oh no, nightmare, and this person is already emotionally unstable, and it's not, like, it gets into a bit of camp. But yeah, like, characteristic disparity is camp. I enjoy the story somewhat. I skip it, unfortunately, because it's not my type of thing. It's definitely not a thing I'd want to follow the entire time. But it is a decent story. But, okay, Tabby. Tabby's story is still V1, but we have V2's story, which will be Love Week. Love Week is still gonna happen, by the way. Like, if we were basing it off of what Love Week was supposed to be, oh yeah, it was gonna be full-on camp. Oh my gosh, this was Camp City. Bro. Literally oh my. V1 was camp. Like, V2 was gonna be camp. Like, V1 was okay, it was in camp. But, like, Reboot freaking fixed it all. So far, the reboot is hype moments and aura. If it goes back into camp, okay. But it does not feel nearly as campy as, say, the previous. But there's a couple more mods I have left. So, Party Week. Party Week is camp. Sorry. It's very obvious. It's Steven Universe fan category. It is heavy camp. And then we also have Retake Insanity, which is also Steven Universe fan category. Basically, and I believe they were, Rebecca Doodles is a Steven Universe fan, so that makes sense. But it's like, yeah, it's heavy camp. It is heavy camp. So it fits in there. And then, like, Salted Sporks, because of Boo Don't Get Spooked, it makes sense that Party Week, like, and if you're wondering, it's like, Party Week doesn't have a story. Yes, it does. It's slight. But, like, the story they decided to make for the final song to have, yeah, that's camp. Especially considering the story and how it goes with the final song story with its lyrics. Yeah, that's just enough camp. But that's all the mods I'm gonna rank, like, in those categories. Like, I enjoy some of these mods' story. Not all of them, of course. Like, I would rather skip Retake Insanity's dialogue, in all honesty. But, like, as you can see there, like, with Tabby's reboot, it's hype moments in aura. And obviously, eventually we'll see if Love Week and the other content will not be as campy as V2 that was cancelled. Holy moly, that was campy when looking at it. But yeah, I just figured I'd share that, considering it's like, I'm basing this campy and hype moments in Steven Universe fan writing category and hype moments in aura based on how the community would react, not based on me. Like, I enjoy some of these. Versus Infinite actually holds up well for writing wise. Very obviously, because they actually make Team DBD's writing seems to always be that way. But yeah, if there were mods you thought I was going to rank, like, put in here that weren't, I have my reasons. But yeah, that's it. Video over. Like, subscribe, comment down below if you wish. Bye.